We're here, Neil C. Brown Field in Clairton, Pennsylvania. Hello, I'm Nicholas Callas, and alongside me is Bruce Davidson. We got a good one today. It's a non-conference game between the West Greene Pioneers and the Clairton Bears. Right now, Clairton in the WPIAL Class 1A Eastern Conference leads that conference with a 4-0 conference record, 5-2 overall. And then for West Greene, another team in first place. West Greene hasn't lost altogether, though. 6-0 in conference and 7-0 overall. And, Bruce, that can be a big testament to Ben Jackson, the season he's had as the senior running back for West Greene. Yeah, Ben Jackson, without a doubt, going to be a force in this game. He's been a force all season long for the West Greene Pioneers. 96 carries, 1,857 yards, and 31 touchdowns. Nick, that's only in 7 games. He's still got a good portion of this season left to go. Ben Jackson, coming into tonight, is 7th all-time in WPIAL rushing history with 5,879 yards. If he gets 121 tonight, that will put him at 6,000 in his career. Isn't there a Clairton alumni on that list as well? There are 2 Clairton alumni on this list. Tyler Boyd is actually right beneath Ben Jackson. The last one he passed, Boyd with 5,763 yards. You might know Tyler Boyd more as a receiver in the National Football League for the Cincinnati Bengals, a graduate of the University of Pittsburgh, but he's in the WPIAL rushing records. And also on this list is Lamont Wade. He has the most career touchdowns in WPIAL history with 120. How about that? That's really cool. Now, we talk about a rich history of these two teams. Let's just talk about Clairton, go over to them for a minute. Clairton, in the last 13 years, from 2006 to 2018, last 13 seasons, Clairton has won 9 WPIAL championships and won 4 state championships in that span. The last time Clairton didn't make playoffs was 2005. Yeah, Clairton is definitely a perennial postseason contender. They had a run of 4 straight PIAA championships from 2009 to 2012. They are certainly one of the top teams in WPIAL football. We're going to step aside real quick. This is the Community Bank pregame show. You're listening to WPIAL football between West Greene and Clairton. We'll be right back.
We all have different stories. We may think we don't have time to pursue a higher education because of how busy we are. At Seton Hill University, my story matters. I can still follow my dream of earning a bachelor's degree with Seton Hill University's adult degree program. And with the adult degree program, I have access to all online and on-campus resources, including career services for life. When I move forward, my family moves forward. Learn how you can move forward at setonhill.edu/moveforward.
A good story makes people listen. A good story communicated well makes people take action. Carlow University's communication majors become experts at taking a good story, telling it effectively in written, oral, or digital communication, and then instilling it with a call to action that could change the world. Carlow communication majors participate in internships with Pittsburgh's leading companies, which helps them apply what they learn in the classroom to the real world. If you want people to take action, major in communication at Carlow. Please visit carlow.edu or call the department chair at 412-578-6347.
Mr. Magic Car Wash, Pittsburgh's premier car wash, serving you with 5 convenient locations in the South Hills. They have multiple wash packages available to keep your car looking its very best. Give your car the works to give it that showroom shine with the added tire dressing and Magic Repel. And remember, there's an easier way to wash your car. Check them out online at MrMagicCarWash.com or visit a location near you to keep your car clean, shiny, and dry every time.
Back here, Clairton High School. This is Neil C. Brown Field, home of the Clairton Bears, just getting ready to get this Class 1A non-conference game underway between West Greene and Clairton. We talked about a lot about Clairton's rich history, but talking about West Greene, not a team to be taken lightly, Bruce. No, West Greene is not to be taken lightly. They come into this game, as we've mentioned, 6-0 in conference, 7-0 overall, and they, too, were a part of WPIAL Class A playoffs last season. How'd they do? They unfortunately lost in the first round, 52-14, in a game actually played at Waynesburg Central High School against Rochester, who ended up becoming the runner-up for Class A.
Now, we talked about Ben Jackson already, over 1,500 yards rushing. But West Greene is a team that's going to run the football more than pass it. I checked the stats on this, and I double-checked just to make sure. The whole passing offense for West Greene this year in 7 games has been 9 yards passing. And that just has to be a testament to how much West Greene trusts Ben Jackson.
Yeah, West Greene is definitely going to play the ground and pound approach. That will be their MO in this game, and rightfully so, given that Ben Jackson has 31 touchdowns so far this season. So Clairton's obviously going to be game planning to try and stop him, number one.
Now, there is another player on West Greene's team that also controls part of the running game. It's fullback Colin Walker. You don't see too many fullbacks anymore being a part of offenses in today's game, but Colin Walker, as the backup running back and as a fullback, on 25 attempts has 213 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season. And Colin Walker is also a senior. The 6'1", 205 pounds, also plays linebacker on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Colin Walker, fullback, probably John Gruden's favorite position during his first tenure with the Oakland Raiders in the National Football League. Not something we see a lot, whether it be pro, college, or high school football, but Colin Walker is not to be taken lightly as the fullback for West Greene. If they want to give Ben Jackson a break, or maybe fake it to him and then give to Walker, that might catch some defenses off guard.
Now on the opposing side for Clairton, some rushers on the team. There's some that are not too bad. Isaiah Berry, the primary running back for Clairton this year, 61 attempts, 392 yards, and 5 touchdowns on the season. And then quarterback Brendan Parsons has a tendency to run the ball as well. 49 attempts for him this year, 421 yards, and he scored 7 touchdowns. So Clairton has a passing attack, but also knows how to run the ball.
Yeah, Brendan Parsons, a dual-threat quarterback. He can run, he can throw. He's going to test this West Greene defense to make sure they can keep him contained, because if he doesn't see anybody open, there's a good chance he might just take off and burn defenses that way.
And it's so versatile, too. It's so awesome for a team and for a coach to be able to have a quarterback that can run, especially in high school. And you see so often now how quarterbacks are becoming punters, too, even, and creating that versatility, because that allows for teams to create more fakes, trusting not just somebody who knows how to kick, a punter, to throw the ball, but the quarterback knows how to punt and can throw the ball if you need a fake.
Yeah, that is definitely a skill. Quarterbacks can sometimes line up like they're going to run it on 4th down, like they're going to throw it, and then they say, you know what, I changed my mind. I'm going to try and pin you inside your own 5-yard line.
We're going to go over the standings real quick. We're going to start with the West Greene Pioneers football team. West Greene is in WPIAL Class 1A, Tri-County South. West Greene is in first place in that conference, 6-0 record, section record, 7-0 overall. Then Chartiers Houston, a close second, 4-1 record in conference, 5-2 overall. Then California PA High School, 3-1 section record, 4-3 overall. Bentworth in 4th place, 2-3 record, 2-5 overall. This is Class 1A Tri-County South Conference. Also tied for 4th place, Jefferson Morgan, 2-3 record, 2-5 overall, 2-3 in section. Then Monessen also 2-3 in conference, 2-5 overall. And then Avella and Mapletown tied in 5th place and last place out of all those teams, 0-4 conference record, 1-6 overall.
Yeah, and Avella and Mapletown obviously toward the bottom of that list. Taking a look at some of the games in Tri-County South, Mapletown is at Monessen, 8th and 6th place, battling it out. Avella hosting 2nd place Chartiers Houston. Jefferson Morgan in 5th has a non-conference game against Our Lady of Sacred Heart, the defending WPIL Class 1A champions. Bentworth and California fighting for possible playoff spots in 3rd and 4th, taking on one another in Bentworth. And our game, of course, West Greene at Clairton from Neil C. Brown Stadium here tonight.
Now moving over to Clairton's conference, WPIAL Class 1A Eastern Conference. Clairton leads that conference with a 4-0 conference record, 5-2 overall. Jeanette, a close second with a 3-0 conference record, 7-0 overall. Jeanette's the only undefeated overall team in the conference. Greensburg Central Catholic in third place, 4-1 conference record, 6-1 overall. Then in fourth place, Springdale, 1-2 conference record, 5-2 overall. This is Class 1A Eastern Conference standings that Clairton's in. Then in fifth place, Riverview, 1-3 conference record, 2-4 overall. Leechburg, sixth place, 1-3 conference record, 2-5 overall. And then Amani Christian Academy, winless this season up to today, 0-5 conference record, 0-7 overall. We're going to move back to the top quickly. First of all, this is the Community Bank pregame show. You're listening to greensports.net. Bruce Davidson alongside me, Nicholas Callas. For the moment, we're awaiting kickoff. But Jeanette and Clairton have a rich history. In 2015, Clairton won the WPIAL Class A championship versus Jeanette. Then in 2016, it happened again. Jeanette lost to Clairton in the WPIAL championship. But then in 2017, in the semifinals, Jeanette beat Clairton.
Got a little revenge on them.
Certainly these two teams being at the top of the conference, not to mention Jeanette won the conference last season as well. So these two teams have been consistent front runners for at least the last 5 years.
Yeah, these two teams that you mentioned, Clairton and Jeanette, always in the conversation when it comes to WPIAL playoffs, and definitely familiar foes. But Jeanette's not here. West Greene is here. They are the current task for the Clairton Bears to face tonight for 48 minutes or more, should we see overtime.
Captains for West Greene, senior Gavin Krause.
Gavin Scott.
Oh, Gavin Scott, excuse me. Ben Jackson, of course. Colin Walker. And Brock
Badillion.
And then on the other side, taking a look at Clairton's, we have Brooklyn Cannon. We have Isaiah Berry. Oh, excuse me. That's Wayne Wade. So Brooklyn Cannon, Wayne Wade. And Kenlin Ogletree, the captains for Clairton. Clairton has deferred to the second half after the coin toss. So West Greene will receive to begin the first half. We're going to step aside. You've been listening to the Community Bank pregame show on greensports.net. Kickoff coming up next on greensports.net.
People always ask me, what does being a dealer for the people mean? It's Mary Lewis here from Michael's Auto Sales. For the people is a simple idea. We believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car. This belief drives the entire team at Michael's Auto Sales. To care more, to try harder, to work smarter. We're dedicated to helping you find the perfect car for your life and budget. Whatever is keeping you from driving the car you want, I guarantee we will try our best to help you. I'm Mary Lewis. I'm a dealer for the people. Come see us at Michael's Auto Sales.
You're listening to greensports.net, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. Kickoff about to get underway. It's Clairton kicking off to West Greene to begin the game. Back deep to return for West Greene. It's Ben Jackson and Colin Walker, the two running backs for this team. And kicking off for Clairton, Brendan Parsons. And there's whistles are blown. Ball is stopped and flags are down by the 40 in Clairton's territory. Offsides on Clairton. One of the players passed the 40-yard line too quickly, so Clairton's going to be backed up.
There are some West Greene fans underneath us here in the bleachers, and they are applauding that call. So far, the decision to defer by head coach Wayne Wade of Clairton not working out in the early stages.
Clock still at 12. First half just ready to get underway. Brendan Parsons is going to try again. There are 5 men on each side of him. So Clairton playing an even kickoff. Again, Colin Walker, Ben Jackson, the 2 deep men around the 25. Ball's kicked off toward the middle of the field. It is caught by Colin Walker at the 25. Now he's at the 30. Colin Walker just runs it straight up the middle. He's being pushed past the 40, and he's finally stopped just short of the 45. Pretty decent field position for West Greene. It's 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line, and only 7 seconds off the clock. 11:53 left, still no score. West Greene playing against Clairton. And here we go. So West Greene getting ready to line up. So it's a triple back set. Quarterback under center. It's going to be a handoff. Of course it's a handoff by West Greene. Ben Jackson gets that carry. It's a short gain on the play, 2nd down. It was a run straight up the middle. He's brought down about 2 yards into his run, so it's going to be 2nd and 8 for West Greene on West Greene's own 45.
Trying to establish the run early, something to no surprise from West Greene.
Again, a handoff to Ben Jackson, and he is brought down hard. Slamming him to the ground is junior Dante Sanders for Clairton, and that's going to be a short gain on the play. Just a yard for Ben Jackson, now 3rd and 7 from West Greene's own 46. It was Ben Jackson, a handoff from quarterback Gavin Scott.
They're actually giving it a long 8 on the scoreboard. At first, it went to 3rd and 9, so back to the line of scrimmage, if anything, for Ben Jackson as he was brought down by Sanders.
So 1 wide receiver on each side. Again, it's a triple back set. There's 1 fullback and 2 tailbacks. Again, it's Scott under center, and he's going to hand off to one of the fullbacks. That's going to be a medium-sized gain on the play. The carry was by Colin Walker. Already talked about him being a strong fullback and a strong running option for West Greene. Short gain on the play. That's going to set up about a 4th and 6 on the play from West Greene's own 49. And the punt formation, the punt team is out now. Back deep to punt. For West Greene is the quarterback, Gavin Scott. And back deep to return the kick by the 20. For Clairton is Kenlon Ogletree. The ball is going to bounce in front of Ogletree around the 25, and that is going to roll toward the 15 before being downed by Ben Jackson of West Greene. So Clairton forces West Greene to punt on West Greene's first drive. So now it's going to be 1st and 10 for Clairton on Clairton's own 15-yard line. 9:48 left on the clock in quarter number 1. West Greene and Clairton scoreless.
Yeah, so now the Clairton offense, the Bears going to get their first crack at the West Greene Pioneer defense from their own 15-yard line, and it will be up to quarterback Brendan Parsons for the Bears to get things going on offense.
It's a spread formation for Clairton.
5 wide receivers.
So 3 on the left side of the line, 2 on the right, no tight ends. Parsons has an empty set. Now motion. Isaiah Berry motions to the backfield, and as the handoff goes to Berry, whistles blow. And no signals yet from the officials. Still 9:48 left on the clock in quarter 1. There was a flag on the play. It's delay of game on Clairton. So a couple Clairton mistakes. We saw the first mistake with the penalty on the kickoff. One player crossed the kickoff line too soon, and that forced the kickoff to go back 5 yards. And now on this play, delay of game sets Clairton to its own 10, a 5-yard infraction. So now it's 1st and 15 from Clairton's own 10. Isaiah Berry in the backfield next to Brendan Parsons. 3 wide receivers on the left, 1 on the right. And it's going to be a handoff to Parsons. He's going to run it toward the far sideline. He's got space. Brendan Parsons is still in bounds past the 30, and he's knocked out of bounds short of the 35. Isaiah Berry on the carry. And that's a new set of downs for Clairton. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Clairton still in its own territory.
Yeah, Barry was able to run up the left sideline and really dig Clairton out of the self-made hole very early here in the first quarter.
So it's Jonte Sanders, Wayne Wade, and Kenlin Ogletree on the right side of the line, and then one wide receiver on the left side. It's going to be a pass play, pass over to Ogletree, and he's got space down by the near sideline, crosses midfield, and is pushed out of bounds past the 45 by West Greene's Corey Wise. And again, a first down for Clairton. 1st and 10 from West Greene's 38. 9.5 minutes left on the clock in quarter one. No score between West Greene and Clairton. You're listening to greensports.net, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. Two wide receivers line up on the left side of the line for Clairton. It's Wayne Wade and Kenlin Ogletree. On the right side of the line, Brooklyn Cannon. There's two backs, one to each side of Brendan Parsons. And before the ball snapped, Ben Jackson, one of the outside linebackers, moved.
Yeah, a rare mistake by Ben Jackson. Looks like they're going to get him for offside. He jumped about a half second before Parsons decided to snap, and Clairton's going to keep moving into Pioneer territory.
So West Greene, after the penalty, that sets up a 1st and 5 for Clairton on West Greene's 37. Same formation, two wide receivers on the left, one on the right, and one back to each side of Parsons. High snap, but the handoff goes to Jonte Sanders. He'll run it straight up the middle before being tackled by two of the defensive linemen for West Greene. Short gain on the play, 2nd down.
I believe Gavin Scott was one of those in on the tackle for West Greene on the run right up the middle by Sanders.
Wayne Wade and Kenlin Ogletree on the left side of the line as wide receivers. Brooklyn Cannon out wide to the right. Brendan Parsons still the quarterback. He's about 5 yards deep in the backfield. The ball is on the 35-yard line in West Greene territory, and his back is Isaiah Barry. Fake handoff to Barry. Now running up the middle is Brendan Parsons, the quarterback. Brendan Parsons was dragging West Greene's Gavin Scott past the 25, past the 20. And Brendan Parsons is tackled just short of the 15-yard line. New set of downs for Clairton after the quarterback run up the middle by Brendan Parsons.
And Nick Parsons knew where he wanted to get in a hurry. He actually pushed his own offensive lineman, Tyrese Washington Ty Law. He pushed him right in front of him on the turf to try and get further up the field.
Kenlin Ogletree, Wayne Wade, and Jonte Sanders on the right side of the wide receiving core. But it's going to be a handoff up the middle for Clairton. And medium gain on the play. That'll set up 2nd down. Colin Walker was the tackler on that play, and the carrier was Jonte Sanders. So Jonte Sanders, Wayne Wade, and Kenlin Ogletree on the left side of the line now as receivers. Brooklyn Cannon, the lone wide receiver on the right side of the line. Brendan Parsons barking out signals. He's about 4 yards deep in the backfield with Jonte Sanders to his left. And it's going to be a handoff to Sanders toward the right side of the line. It was a power right.
No signal yet.
So Jonte Sanders makes his way toward the goal line. Jonte Sanders is celebrating. And it is a touchdown according to the officials. Jonte Sanders with a power right run up the middle from about the 6-yard line. Scores the touchdown. And Clairton's on the board first at 6-0 with 7.5 minutes left in quarter number one. Clairton going to attempt an extra point. It's Brendan Parsons who's going to hold for the kicker, Kenlin Ogletree. The hold's from the 10. It's a good snap, a good hold, but not a good kick. The ball is kicked off of the offensive line of Clairton and hits the ground. The kick's no good, so the extra point not converted. The score is 6-0. Clairton leads West Greene in this WPIAL Class 1A football game with 7.5 minutes left. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to greensports.net simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County.
First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County is the place to go for all of your banking needs. When it's time to buy your first home or to upgrade to a larger one, go to First Federal Savings and Loan for all of your mortgage and refinancing. Checking our savings accounts? Absolutely! And the friendly folks at First Federal Savings and Loan will gently guide you through the process of getting started. First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. Quality customer care you can bank on. NMLS number 458729, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC. Call 724-627-6116.
Clairton leads this football matchup against West Greene 6-0, about 7.5 minutes left in quarter number one. Clairton just scored a touchdown after several running plays. Some from Dante Sanders, some from Isaiah Berry. Brendan Parsons, the quarterback, kept some. But it was Dante Sanders who ran it into the end zone on a power right from 6 yards away to score the first touchdown for Clairton. The extra point kick was not converted, so Clairton's only up 6-0. It's a short kick now. It's going to be picked up by Colin Walker at the 20. Walker takes it back toward the middle, gets a big hit. He's dragging defenders past the 35. He's knocked short of the 40, and the ball came loose for just a second.
Clairton says they have it.
Officials are looking and waiting to make a call. Clairton's players are pointing as if Clairton recovered the fumble, but the officials are still in a huddle. 7:25 left on the clock. That kickoff only took 8 seconds off the clock. So the officiating crew rules that West Greene's Colin Walker did not fumble the football. And West Greene's going to start 1st and 10 from its own 40. West Greene with a strong running game. Quarterback for West Greene is under center. It's Gavin Scott. It's a triple back. There is one back behind the next. And it's going to be handed off to the last man, Ben Jackson, who's being dragged by defenders, pushing his way toward the far sideline, and fought his way for a measly amount of yards. 2nd and still long for West Greene.
Couldn't really see on that kickoff, but I believe that for Colin Walker, I believe his knee was down just before the ball popped out, Nick. All the Clairton players were signaling that they had recovered it, but would you expect them to say they didn't?
No.
Come on now.
2nd and 8 from West Greene on its own 42. It's that double running back center with one fullback. Quarterback Scott still under center. Scott's going to keep it himself. It looked like it was going to be a pitch option. That just falls apart, and it's going to be a sack. Scott is brought down before the 40-yard line. Derek Hampton of Clairton is credited with getting that tackle and that sack. He came in there quickly. Derek Hampton, the 6', 200-pound junior, one of the players from the secondary, one of the outside linebackers. So West Greene loses nearly 7 on that play, setting up a 3rd and 15 from its own 35-yard line. 6 minutes left. Clairton up on West Greene 6-0. So no wide receivers. It's a double tight end formation. And again, there's 3 backs in the backfield. 1 fullback and 2 tailbacks. Scott fakes the handoff, now throws toward the far sideline, but the pass is tipped by Clairton's Don Napper. And that's going to set up a 4th down and 15 for West Greene on its own 35. And West Greene preparing to punt for the 2nd time tonight. So West Greene in punt formation now. The punter is the quarterback, Gavin Scott. We talked about how quarterbacks are also becoming punters to create the illusion of a fake. Back deep for Clairton, it's Isaiah Berry. And it's Kenlin Ogletree. Ogletree picks it up at the 35. Look at him go. He's past midfield, down the far sideline, crosses the 30, crosses the 20. He created space inside the 10. 5, touchdown, Clairton Bears. A punt return by Kenlin Ogletree from Clairton's own 30-yard line. He ran it back, bounced it to the far sideline, ran past everybody on West Greene's punt team, and Clairton now has a 12-0 lead with 5 minutes, 34 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yep, he found enough space on the far sideline, got a couple blocks, and there was nobody to stop Kenlin Ogletree down the far sideline all the way to the end zone, and Clairton off to a miraculous start, 12-0. Halfway through the first quarter, they are on West Greene early.
So an on formation for Clairton. Now the entire line is right by the far sideline. The snapper is alone. It's Andre Henderson snapping it from the middle of the field, and Kenlin Ogletree is the quarterback. He's just going to run it toward the end zone near the near sideline. That is a 2-point successful conversion on a very unorthodox formation. Let me just go over that one again. The line for Clairton lined up on that 2-point conversion on the far sideline. Kenlin Ogletree was playing the quarterback position in the middle of the field, and there was only one lineman, Andre Henderson, who snapped it to him, and then Ogletree only had one back next to him, and that one back blocked well enough for Ogletree to score. And my only question is, the West Greene defense was waiting for something.
I'm not sure what was going on. It looked, from my vantage point, it almost looked like that Colts trick play from years ago that they tried to run against the Patriots. They line everybody on one side. You only had one guy under center. We all know that play turned out horribly, but this one works for Clairton, and they're now up 14-0 with 5:34 left in the first quarter on homecoming night for the Bears.
I've never understood why that play works, but in Clairton's case right there, it did work. So no harm, no foul. Clairton now leads 14-0 with 5.5 minutes left in quarter number one. Brendan Parsons going to get ready to kick it away for Clairton from the 40-yard line in Clairton's own territory. 5 kickoff team members on each side of Parsons. Back deep, Colin Walker and Ben Jackson. Both of those players are standing on West Greene's 15-yard line. Parsons gets it away. It's a squib kick that touches West Greene around the 35-yard line, but right as that kick went off, flags go down on the field. It should be mentioned as well, West Greene is undefeated overall this season, but it's down 14-0 early.
Yeah, definitely in trouble of staying perfect on the season against Clairton. Worth noting, though, that last year Clairton went to West Greene on the road and came away with a 33-14 victory, despite trailing 6-0 entering the locker rooms at halftime last year.
So that infraction on Clairton was, again, offsides on the kick.
That's twice they've done that now, Nick.
3 penalties for Clairton total, 2 times that there was a kickoff miscue. So now Clairton's Brendan Parsons will kick it away from the 35 now. Colin Walker's at the 25. Ben Jackson's at the 20. Again, it's like a squib kick. Colin Walker picks it up before the 30. Now he's going to run it down by the near sideline. Colin Walker smashes his way past the 45, smashes his way past the 50, and Colin Walker is brought down around the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 for West Greene now on a hard-fought kick return there.
Yeah, Colin Walker went through at least 2 Clairton Bear defenders, setting up the Pioneers with their best field position that they've had all night long, and they need it, down by 2 scores, to try and get back into this contest.
Colin Walker's a fighter. He is an aggressive ball handler.
At 6'1", 205 pounds, he's not someone that I would try and get between in the end zone.
So West Greene lined up in its standard formation, 2 running backs and 1 fullback, but a flag on the play before the snap. Offsides on Clairton, so that's Clairton's 4th penalty in this one. And it's 1st and 10 now for West Greene. 1st and 5 for West Greene on Clairton's 43-yard line. Same formation under center is Gavin Scott. Scott's going to hand it off to Ben Jackson. Ben Jackson's going to bounce it to the far sideline. Ben Jackson has a first down and a bit more before being brought down short of the 35-yard line. So now 1st and 10 for West Greene on Clairton's 36-yard line. It should be noted as well, in past history with these teams, these two hadn't played each other consistently before 2018, but in 2018, that's last season, Clairton won this game 33-14. So for West Greene, it's Colin Walker, Ben Jackson, the two backs, and then one fullback. It's going to be a handoff again to Ben Jackson. Jackson is going to run it up the middle before being brought down short of the 30-yard line. Second down for West Greene.
Derek Hampton was able to make the stop, and it appears that Hampton is slow to get up, now standing up, walking with a bit of a limp, and we have an injury timeout for the Clairton Bears here with 4:45 left in the opening quarter. Clairton 14, West Greene 0.
An injury that's not too serious, so it's going to be a quick substitution. Into the game now for Clairton is Jalen Eskew. So the official spot of the ball, it's on Clairton's 33-yard line, second and roughly 7 yards to go for West Greene, who continues to push forward. 4 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock. Here in quarter number one, it's 14-0. Clairton leads West Greene in this WPIAL Class 1 football game. So Ben Jackson, the right running back, Colin Walker, the left running back. And it's going to be a handoff again to Ben Jackson from the right side. He's going to run it directly up the middle. Gets a few yards on the play. That'll be third down. He's brought down around the 30-yard line at Clairton's end of the field.
This is the farthest that West Greene has gotten into Clairton territory so far in this game, to the 33-yard line.
So Ben Jackson and Colin Walker, again the running backs, and that fullback for West Greene. We'll talk about him in a minute. It's going to be a handoff this time to Colin Walker. So Ben Jackson from the left side ran behind the quarterback, Gavin Scott. And then the inside handoff was given to Colin Walker. It'll be a short gain on the play, but West Greene's just that much closer to the first down. The first down marker is on the 22-yard line, and the ball is spotted on Clairton's 27. Let me correct what I said. The first down marker is on the 26 in Clairton's territory, and the ball is spotted on the 28.
4th down and 2 coming up for West Greene.
Corey Wise is the fullback for West Greene. So it's Corey Wise, Colin Walker, and then Ben Jackson.
Movement.
The three running backs, and a flag goes down on the play on 4th down. Both sides of the line jumped, but the officials put the infraction on West Greene. So one of the linemen jumped for West Greene. That's a 5-yard penalty, so the ball is pushed back to Clairton's 33-yard line, and the first down is at Clairton's 26. 3:15 left in quarter number one. It's 14-0. Clairton leads West Greene. So West Greene's going to try to run another play. Under center is Gavin Scott. It's the same running back formation. It's handed off to the, it's a play action, pass play down the field. The pass is intercepted by Clairton. Clairton running it back down to the 30, the 35. Now a pitch back, and the ball goes out of bounds around the 30-yard line. The interception was by Kenlin Ogletree. So the ball tipped off the intended receiver, Dante Sanders. It was a play action, a fake handoff to Ben Sanders. To Ben Jackson. Dante Sanders was the intended receiver, but it tipped off of his hands. Oh, excuse me, I was looking at the wrong team. It was Wesley Whipkey, who was the intended receiver, but it was intercepted by Clairton's Kenlin Ogletree, and now Clairton is going to try again on offense, keeping West Greene scoreless.
Yeah, just a second pass they've tried all night, Nick, and it looked like Whipkey had a step on him, but the foul was just a little late.
3 wide receivers on the right, 1 on the left.
Another flag.
And a flag goes down on the play as the ball is snapped. And the officials call offsides on West Greene. So the Pioneers get hit with a penalty. The referee pointed at West Greene, but then the ball's moving backwards, so Clairton is hit. So now it's 1st and 15 for Clairton. On Clairton's own 30-yard line, same formation. It's going to be a pass play, thrown toward the near sideline. The pass is caught by Wayne Wade of Clairton, and he's tackled short of the 40 by West Greene's Nathan Orndorff. So a medium-length gain on the play. That'll set up a 2nd and 6 from Clairton's own 39-yard line, and the first down marker is at midfield. So Clairton's wide receivers on the left, it's Kenlin Ogletree and Wayne Wade. And on the right side of the line, it is Jonte Sanders and Brooklyn Cannon. Brendan Parsons, the quarterback, has one back to his right. Now motion, and the handoff goes up the middle. It's Isaiah Berry crossing midfield, and he's tripped up around the 40-yard line. New set of downs for Clairton on the run by junior Isaiah Berry.
And Berry looked as though he could already see himself in the end zone. He just barely got tripped up. That was a touchdown-saving tackle there by West Greene.
So 1st and 10 from West Greene's 39-yard line. Under 2 minutes left in quarter one. It's 14-0. Clairton leads West Greene. So it's Ogletree, Wade, and Jonte Sanders on the right side of the line, and Brooklyn Cannon on the left side of the line. Pass play, Parsons to the near sideline, caught by Ogletree. Ogletree runs past the 30, still down by the near sideline. Flags go down as he's tackled short of the 25.
Looked as though Corey Wise was making the tackle. Orndorff also in on the play.
So it's 14-0. Clairton leads West Greene. And there's a holding call down by that near sideline. The holding is on West Greene, offensive holding. And that's going to send Clairton back a few yards after a run that would have gotten them a new set of downs.
Yeah, there was a West Greene defender being held by one of the Bears wearing their black uniforms with orange numbers and orange helmets. And that's going to back the Bears up to the West Greene 39 with a minute and a half left in the opening quarter, and Clairton leading 14-0 here tonight.
So Clairton pushed back to West Greene's 40. It's 1st and about 11 from West Greene's 40. Jonte Sanders on the right side of Parsons, and it's Isaiah Berry on the left side. 2 wide receivers on the left, 1 on the right. It's going to be a handoff to Berry again. Berry tries to bounce this one to the far sideline. He crosses the 40, still has space, and Isaiah Berry is knocked out of bounds inside the 40, knocked out at about the 38. 2nd down for Clairton's offense.
Yeah, good job there by Gavin Scott on defense for West Greene. He was able to keep Berry contained, not let him get around the edge and break it down the far sideline, forcing him out of bounds.
So Clairton has scored on a 6-yard rush for a touchdown and a punt return. Clairton missed the first extra point attempt that made it 6-0, but then converted a two-point conversion. And that's how it's 14-0. West Greene has yet to score. Same formation, again, a handoff. Flag goes down by the 40 as Jonte Sanders breaks loose. Jonte Sanders up the middle. He's tackled inside the 15-yard line by West Greene's secondary defender, Hunter Hamilton. And a new set of downs for Clairton if this penalty doesn't affect it in any way. So let's take a look. The official is ready to call it. Whistle's blown, and the head official is looking to call it back. Players haven't lined up yet. Under a minute left in the first quarter.
False start on Clairton, and that's going to negate that run that would have put the Bears inside West Greene's red zone, as we're now under a minute in the opening quarter with Clairton leading 14-0 in this non-conference single-A confrontation between the Bears and the Pioneers, and it looks as though the Bears are going to take a timeout, Nick.
And as will we. You're listening to greensports.net, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County.
Fast service and delivery. It's all there for you at McCracken Pharmacy. McCracken Pharmacy is your hometown pharmacy that has been serving the local community for nearly 50 years. Fast and friendly service with a personal touch. That's McCracken Pharmacy. And McCracken Pharmacy has always been a proud supporter of local high school athletics. McCracken Pharmacy on High Street in Waynesburg. Fast and friendly service plus delivery. Call 724-627-5454.
You're listening to WPIAL Class 1A football. It's Clairton leading West Greene 14-0, under a minute left in quarter number one. This is greensports.net simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. So Clairton just had a penalty. It was a false start on a run that wasn't initially called back. It was a delayed penalty. But the result of that, instead of a first down at the 10, Clairton is pushed back to a second down and about 15. Clairton still in West Greene's territory. Clairton is spotted on West Greene's 44. 3 wide receivers on the left side of the line, and Brooklyn Cannon, the lone wide receiver on the right side. Brendan Parsons has one back to the right of him. Pass play. Parsons has pressure. Parsons avoids a sack at the 45, runs to the 50, and throws a pass to the near sideline, and it's a catch made by Wayne Wade, the 6-foot senior for Clairton. He was tackled past the 30-yard line, which will be enough for a new set of downs for the Clairton Bears.
Yeah, great job there on that play by Parsons to evade the rush from Jackson, who got loose and broke through that Clairton offensive line, but Parsons was able to evade Jackson and make the throw to Wade.
Isaiah Berry still in the game as the back. It's Kenlin Ogletree and Wayne Wade as receivers on the right side, and then Jonte Sanders and Brooklyn Cannon on the left side of the line. Brendan Parsons 3 yards deep in the backfield, hands off to Berry. Berry runs it past the 25, and he's knocked down in between the 25 and the 20. Second down. So again, we talked about the rushers for Clairton. Isaiah Berry, a very prominent rusher for this Clairton team. 61 attempts and 392 yards. 5 touchdowns entering play. And with that, a timeout. Or excuse me, not a timeout. The quarter ends. The quarter has ended. First quarter ends here at Neil C. Brown Field, home of the Clairton Bears. Clairton leads the West Greene Pioneers 14-0. We'll be back for the start of the second quarter. You're listening to greensports.net, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County.
At Waynesburg University, growth means profound transformation as you connect faith, learning, and serving in your life. Here, you'll test yourself, make lifelong friends, provide hope to those in need, and become a leader. As you grow, you'll discover a faculty invested in you, peers inspired by service, and a university commitment to making your investment one of the most valuable in the country. Learn more at waynesburg.edu.
Back here, second quarter about to begin. West Greene is trailing Clairton 14-0. Clairton has had not so much success on offense, has had possession of the ball more than West Greene, that's a fact. But Clairton has scored a touchdown on its second drive after running the ball in, made it 6-0 after a failed extra point kick. And then a punt return for Clairton allowed 6 more points to go up on the board, and a 2-point successful conversion made it 14-0. 2 wide receivers on each side of the line for Clairton, and one back. That's Dante Sanders to the left of Brendan Parsons. Sanders is knocked down hard by West Greene. One of the linemen got in there to make the tackle, one of the defensive linemen for West Greene. It was Brock Badillion for West Greene. And that'll set up a third down now for Clairton, who's pushed back to West Greene's 32-yard line.
I believe that was a dual effort by both Badillion and number 62 of West Greene, Tristan White, the 285-pound, 6'1" sophomore for the Pioneers, also in on that tackle.
So Brooklyn Cannon and Jonte Sanders on the left side of the line, 2 other wide receivers on the right side, and Brendan Parsons has Dante Sanders next to him. Parsons is rolling. He's got trouble. Throw from the 45 is over everybody. Goes out of bounds, out of the end zone, and that'll set up a fourth down. But Brendan Parsons was agile enough to wean his way away from a sack.
Yeah, and Parsons was able to put it in a position where one of his guys could have made the catch. There were 3 Bears as well as 3 West Greene Pioneer defenders all in the end zone. But now we got 4th down and 9 for Clairton, leading this game 14-0.
Well, Clairton too close to punt, but too far to kick a field goal
from here.
I think school level.
From here it would be about a 42-yard field goal. And it doesn't look as though they're opting to kick it. They're going to keep the offense out there with 2 receivers on the left, and we have Clairton using their second timeout so far in this half.
And we're going to step aside once again. You're listening to greensports.net, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County.
Community Bank makes it easy to apply online for a mortgage or a free pre-qualification. Go online, choose from a variety of terms and low rates for qualified borrowers. See Community Bank for one-time closing construction loans. Community Bank is your local bank with branches in southwestern Pennsylvania for over 110 years. They're here to serve their customers. Go online today. See how easy it is. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Online, communitybank.tv.
11 minutes, 11 seconds remain in this second quarter. It's Clairton leading West Greene in this Class 1A football game, 14-0.
11 minutes, 11 seconds left on Friday, October 11th, Nick.
Could be a November 11th, and we'd have 11's wild, and a magical football score of 11 would have been impressive as well.
No, but we do have a full moon just behind us here over top of Neil C. Brown Stadium here in Clairton.
It's a beautiful football night, 62 degrees, not frigid, but not overbearing with heat. 2 wide receivers on each side, and a whistle blown as the ball snapped, and a flag's on the field. Clairton's already had 4 penalties to this point, 2 on kickoffs, and a couple other infractions, 1 on offense, 1 on defense. West Greene's only had 1 offsides penalty, and the officials call a false start on Clairton, so that's going to be a 5-yard penalty now, pushing Clairton back to West Greene's 30-yard line, 30.
Yes, now it's going to be 4th down and 14, or excuse me, yeah. 4th down and 14 for Clairton. They need the West Greene 16 to keep this drive alive.
Cannon Brooklyn, Jonte Sanders on the left side of the line, 2 wide receivers on the right. And now whistles blow again as another flag goes down on the field. One of the West Greene linemen jumped. As a matter of fact, it was not a lineman, it was outside linebacker Ben Jackson. Ben Jackson looked like he was coming in for a blitz and just overstepped his boundaries and got caught offside. So 4th down and 9 now is the situation for West Greene, for Clairton on West Greene's 25-yard line. Same formation. It's Dante Sanders in the backfield. Brendan Parsons in the backfield throws, and it's caught by Wayne Wade inside the 10 of West Greene's territory. Clairton converts a 4th down and gets a new set of downs. 1st and goal for Clairton on West Greene's 8-yard line.
An absolute strike from Brendan Parsons. Was able to step up and just rifle it to Wayne Wade. Leaping grab, falling down at the 8-yard line of West Greene, and Clairton looking to go up by 3 scores on this drive.
Kenlon Ogletree, Wayne Wade, and Jonte Sanders on the left side of the line. It's going to be a handoff, though, from Parsons to Isaiah Berry, pushing his way through defenders. It was a straight run up the middle. Clairton's pushing the pile. Whistles blow. It's near the goal line where Berry was stopped. 2nd down is the ruling. No officials signaling touchdown. So Isaiah Berry on that run up the middle was short of the goal line. It'll be 2nd and goal from West Greene's 1-yard line. 10 minutes remaining in quarter 2. 14-0. Clairton leads West Greene. It's going to be the first back formation. Parsons is under center, hands off, and it's Isaiah Berry running through the right side of the offensive line, entering the end zone, and Clairton has scored its 3rd touchdown tonight. It's 20-0. 9 minutes, 56 seconds left on the clock in the second quarter.
Yep, Isaiah Berry was able to punch it in and get himself a touchdown, joining Dante Sanders, the 2nd rushing touchdown for Clairton. They now lead 20-0. Extra point pending with 9:56 left here in the second quarter.
Kenlon Ogletree is getting ready to kick it away. Brendan Parsons is his holder. Good snap, good hold. The kick's up, and Kenlon Ogletree is 1 of 2 on extra point conversions. Today he kicks one through the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. 9 minutes, 56 seconds left on the clock in quarter number 2. You're listening to greensports.net. This is WPIAL Class 1A football on greensports.net, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, brought to you by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. Now, Bruce, we talked about how Clairton won this game last year, but I also read up and saw that West Greene last year scored first.
Yes. West Greene in the game last year at the Pioneers led the game 6-0 going into halftime. I spoke with one of their coaches, and they ran a play-action play that's similar to one they ran tonight that was intercepted on West Greene's second offensive drive. They ran a play-action play last year in the game. It did not work as the ball was just thrown behind the receiver for West Greene, and he told me that they really should have gone into the locker room up 12, if not 14-0 last year before the game slipped away from them, and they ended up losing that one 33-14. Tonight has been an entirely different story, though, as Clairton has been having their foot on the gas from the get-go and not appearing to look back.
Colin Walker for West Greene just got taken off the field. In his place is Corey Wise. Corey Wise and Ben Jackson are around the 5-yard line in their own territory for this kickoff. And for Clairton, the ball has been spotted on West Greene's 45. Brendan Parsons getting ready to kick it away from West Greene's 45. Parsons, a line drive kick, goes over the head of Wise, goes into the end zone, and is ruled a touchback. We're going to step aside real quick. You're listening to greensports.net, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County.
This is Dave Coder, candidate for Greene County Commissioner. My family has long supported Greene County High School sports, from the days when my father-in-law coached the Carmichael's Mikes, to my days as a player for the Mapletown Maples, and to watching my daughter cheer for the Waynesburg Raiders. Thanks to everyone that supports our student athletes. And a special thanks to Greene Sports for bringing live scholastic sports into our homes. Good luck to all of our teams this season.
Paid for by Dave Coder Campaign Committee.
Clairton leads West Greene in this Class 1A football game 21-0, just under 10 minutes left in quarter number 2. Bruce Davidson alongside me, Nicholas Callas. Still first half of football between these two teams. Now West Greene going in a passing formation. Pass play in the backfield. Now a throw downfield is not caught. It was over the head of the intended receiver, Colton Anderson. For West Greene, it's going to be second down. Gavin Scott still playing quarterback for West Greene. His team down 21-0.
Yeah, Nick, and we know that West Greene wants to run their offense through Ben Jackson, and why wouldn't they, coming into tonight with 31 touchdowns? But Clairton has made their defensive presence felt. They haven't let West Greene run all over them, and now the Pioneers need to turn to the aerial attack.
Yeah, Clairton's defense has certainly noticeably been more aggressive. Ben Jackson to the right of Scott in the backfield. Now Jackson's going to get the handoff up the middle. He shakes off a defender, now bounces it to the far sideline. He's fighting his way toward the 25, and he'll be brought down just short of the 25. And West Greene now set up third down and medium.
Another stop on the play by Kenlon Ogletree of Clairton. Mentioned his name a few times so far tonight.
He's had a pretty good game to this point. He's been playing well as a receiver. He's been playing well as the kicker.
He ran back the punt to give Clairton a 14-0 lead earlier in the first quarter as well.
So 3rd and 7 from West Greene zone 24. Same formation, pass play. Scott throws to the far sideline. Pass is picked off by Clairton. Clairton running it back. 25, bounce to the near sideline. Inside the 20, 10. It's Isaiah Berry at the 5. Cuts it back inside. He's still on his feet, and he's brought down just short of the goal line by West Greene's Corey Wise. But Isaiah Berry would not go down. He intercepted the pass around the 35-yard line in West Greene's territory, cut it to the near sideline, and then somehow tried to find his way back toward the middle of the field and was just tripped up by Wise, or that would have been a pick six return touchdown.
Now West Greene was on their own 24-yard line. Berry caught the ball just before the 40, and got it all the way down to the West Greene 2, but he ran much more than 38 yards on that play, going diagonal both times all the way to the near side, and even tried to cut all the way back to the far side before being brought down right in the middle of the field by Wise at the West Greene 4-yard line,
First and goal from the 4 in West Greene's territory. Barry on the left side of Parsons and Sanders on the right. It's going to be a handoff to the left back, Barry, who continues to run backwards, and he is dropped around the 15 in West Greene. That's a huge loss on the play, second down. So Clairton has switched up its offense frequently in this game. Sometimes you'll see trips receivers. Sometimes you'll see split receivers, 2 on each side. Sometimes you'll see split backs. But it's all about throwing off West Greene's defense. And to this point, the offense has succeeded, putting up 21 points compared to West Greene's 0.
Yeah, Clairton is definitely giving West Greene multiple looks. They're keeping them on their toes. They're going to go spread one play. Then they're going to line up with 2 backs. Then they're going to have everybody on one side of the field.
Dante Sanders to the right of Brendan Parsons in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to Sanders right up the middle. Sanders slides. He's tripped up just short of the goal line, but he's tackled inside the 5 of West Greene. It's going to be third down and goal now from West Greene's 3. And whistles blow. Officials are calling timeout. And we'll see why. 21-0. West Greene is trailing Clairton. 7 minutes, 40 seconds left in quarter 2. And Dante Sanders is talking with the training staff. He's going to walk slowly off the field. And I correct myself, it is Wayne, one of the receivers. Wayne Wade, one of the receivers who's going off the field. He's being replaced by Kenlin Ogletree. And he walks off to the sideline. So it's Brooklyn Cannon on the left side of the line. 3 wide receivers on the right. Dante Sanders to the left. Now he moves to the right of Brendan Parsons. 3 yards deep in the backfield. Parsons fumbles the football. And we have yet to see. There's a pile of players on the ball. It looked like Parsons fell back on it just in time. So Clairton retains possession but loses it down. It's 4th and goal from the 4.
And this is about the length of an extra point or not much more. Nick, Clairton could kick the field goal, but from the looks of it, I think they're going to go for it and try and continue to rack up points already ahead 21-0.
Jonte Sanders, along with Jalen Askew and Brooklyn Cannon on that left side of the line. Kenlin Ogletree on the right side. Brendan Parsons 3 yards deep in the backfield, and whistles blow as the ball snapped. And we've seen several penalties.
This is not a penalty. In fact, though, it'll be the first charge timeout for West Greene here in this first half.
So far tonight, though, we've seen 7 penalties on this one. West Greene using another timeout. Clairton has 1 timeout left. West Greene has 2 left. And with that timeout, we're going to step aside quickly. You're listening to greensports.net, simulcast on the Trib Life High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County.
Whether it's a car, a truck, or an SUV, new or used, the staff at Fox Ford in Waynesburg will put you in the vehicle that fits all of your needs. How do they know they can? Well, they've been doing so since 1921, when they first began serving the people of Greene County and beyond with their no-haggle, no-stress pricing. To begin your own automotive search, go to www.foxfordwaynesburg.com or call 724-627-3151 to talk to a member of the sales staff. Fox Ford, serving the local community since 1921.
Greensports.net simulcast on the Trib Life High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. Clairton's up 21-0 over West Greene, and Clairton is now set up 4th and goal from West Greene's 4. 3 wide receivers on the left, 1 on the right, 1 back to the left of Brendan Parsons, about 4 yards deep in the backfield. Parsons, handoff to Dante Sanders right up the middle. He runs through the right side of the line and with little resistance enters the end zone for Clairton's 4th touchdown tonight. It is 27-0. West Greene is trailing Clairton with 6.5 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. We talked about how this was going to be a really good game, and to this point, we've seen some bright spots from both teams, but Clairton's offense, special teams, and even the defense has been playing a bit ahead of West Greene's.
Yeah, and Clairton is not the same team that they were, as there's a whistle before the extra point. Nick, offside on West Greene.
The offsides on West Greene's Colton Anderson.
Yeah, Nick, I want to point this out. Clairton is not the same team that they were. They come into tonight 5-2 overall. They also come into this game with a record of 4-0 in conference. Their first 2 games of the season, home against Aliquippa and then at McGuffey, there were multiple players out for the Clairton Bears, and everybody started to wonder, with this perennial WPIL powerhouse, what's wrong with Clairton? After 5 straight wins and the performance they've put on so far in the first half here tonight, I think it's safe to say nothing is wrong with Clairton right now, and they are back to being a threat for the Class A championship, again leading the Eastern Conference coming into tonight, taking on Tri-County South Conference leader West Greene.
5 straight wins, undefeated in conference. Kenland Ogletree puts that one up, and the officials signal good. So Kenland Ogletree is 2 for 3 on extra point kick attempts. It's 28-0, 6.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Again, Clairton leading West Greene in this Class 1A football non-conference game. You're listening to greensports.net. Nicholas Callas, and alongside me, Bruce Davidson. This broadcast is simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. We'll be right back.
At Direct Results, our company motto is, yes,
that one might have hit
your do it. When we align our team with your business to serve your marketing, promotional, and branding needs, we strive to give you everything you could ever want. Screen printing and embroidery, we can do it. Promotional products from pins and keychains to new and innovative ideas that will wow your customers, we can do it. All types of signs, banners, and decals, including vehicle wraps, we can do it. Printing, from business cards to catalogs and calendars, we can do it. Visit directresults.us to take a virtual tour of our facility, meet our team, and experience direct results.
Clairton leads West Greene 28-0, 6.5 minutes left in quarter 2. You're listening to greensports.net, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County.
And before this kickoff for Clairton, you might have heard that as we were going to break. The last extra point by Kenland Ogletree, at least from my vantage point, it went right toward the parking lot, and I think it came close to where Nick and I parked, so we'll have to investigate that later. But back to the action.
The last thing I need is a broken windshield. Brendan Parsons ready to kick it away, and it's a line drive kick, not picked up at all. It's going to land at the 10, rolls at the 5, enters the end zone, and that's a touchback. Enters the end zone untouched on the kick. So Colin Walker was back in the game. He was one of the men back deep to return that kick alongside Ben Jackson, but neither of them attempt to field it, and the ball is going to be spotted at the 20, 1st and 10 for West Greene on its own 20-yard line. West Greene has struggled on offense, has not scored yet. It's 28-0. Clairton leads West Greene. One wide receiver on each side of the line. Scott under center. And it's going to be, that play was broken right from the start. There was a fumble on the play. The ball was coughed up by Gavin Scott, the quarterback of West Greene, and the officials are pointing the opposite direction. West Greene picks up the football. Brooklyn Cannon for Clairton came in and picked up the fumble, but give credit to the lineman of Clairton, who just came in, immediately broke up that play. Gavin Scott turned the wrong way, it looked like. Ben Jackson ran a completely different way. It looked like it was supposed to be a pitch play that was just broken. The defensive line came in there, immediately stopped whatever play that was, but Gavin Scott couldn't hold on to the football in all the confusion. Picked up by Brooklyn Cannon, and Clairton once again has the football. This time it's deep inside West Greene's area, 1st and 10 from West Greene's 15. Parsons throw to the near or far sideline. It's caught by Ogletree. Ogletree inside the 5. Ogletree from the far sideline enters the end zone. No signal was up, but points have been put on the board. The ruling on the field initially is a touchdown. Kenlin Ogletree did hit the pylon on the far sideline on that near corner. So he does, in fact, score. It's 34-0. Clairton leads West Greene with 6:15 left on the clock in quarter number 2. Kenlin Ogletree playing well. Already has a punt return, and he's added a touchdown to that. And didn't Ogletree score on the two-point conversion, too?
He did, in fact, score on the two-point conversion, getting all 8 plays earlier in the first quarter for Clairton. Or 8 points in that sequence.
Kenlin Ogletree puts it up. Kenlin Ogletree has 3 of 4 extra point attempts made. It's 35-0. Clairton is leading West Greene in the second quarter, and a game that had a lot of promise to be a good matchup has come out of hand. Now, West Greene has to be careful because in the second half, if a team's down by 35 points, the mercy rule clock's in effect, and the mercy rule clock is not revoked.
No, it is not.
The mercy rule clock is a running clock, so regardless of a play that goes out of bounds, regardless of incomplete passes, the clock continues to run unless a team calls a timeout. But other than that scenario, the clock continues to run until it hits 0. So West Greene is in a very crucial spot now where it's in desperate need to score a touchdown.
Yeah, West Greene needs to get some points on the board in the last 6:14 of this first half to avoid the mercy rule going into effect once the second half begins.
So a 6-yard rush, a punt return, a couple other runs, make it 35-0.
Yep.
So there no passing touchdowns. There was one passing touchdown.
Yeah, the last one was a passing touchdown.
Excuse me, yes. Pardon me. So one passing touchdown, the rest rushing, with the exception of that one punt return. The ball kicked off by Parsons. It's down by the near sideline, picked up by West Greene, and that's not going to get very far. West Greene tackled inside the 20 on that attempted return for West Greene was Dalton Lucy. So West Greene going to be set up in not ideal field position, pretty standard field position, 1st and 10 from its own 20-yard line. 6 minutes, 10 seconds left in quarter number 2. It is 35-0. West Greene is trailing Clairton in this Class 1A non-conference football game. Clairton from the Eastern Conference, West Greene from Tri-County South. Same formation that West Greene's been running all game. It's going to be a handoff inside. Ben Jackson down by the near sideline. Crosses the 40. Ben Jackson hurdles someone. Crosses the 50. Ben Jackson inside the 20. Down the near sideline. Ben Jackson scores a touchdown by the near sideline. And West Greene, when it needed a touchdown, was in desperation mode. Got one from the reliable running back, Ben Jackson.
Yeah. Perfect timing for West Greene. They needed to show that they still had life in this game. Again, 35 points, it would be an incredible comeback, but you can't say it's not entirely possible because Ben Jackson gets touchdown number 32 on the season, getting loose for 80 yards down the near sideline. And remember, he came into the night only needing 121 yards to go to 6,000 for his high school career.
Gavin Scott, the holder for West Greene. West Greene trying the extra point. The kick is up by West Greene's Kevin Thompson, and that kick is good. So West Greene has 7 points, but trails in this one 35-7 with under 6 minutes left in quarter 2. We're going to step aside. You're listening to Nicholas Callas and Bruce Davidson. This is greensports.net with a simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, brought to you by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County.
This is Dave Coder, candidate for Greene County Commissioner. My family has long supported Greene County High School sports, from the days when my father-in-law coached the Carmichael's Mikes, to my days as a player for the Mapleton Maples, and to watching my daughter cheer for the Waynesburg Raiders. Thanks to everyone that supports our student athletes, and a special thanks to Greene Sports for bringing live scholastic sports into our homes. Good luck to all of our teams this season.
Paid for by Dave Coder Campaign Committee.
Football, the Western Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic League. Non-conference Class 1A football game between West Greene and Clairton. Clairton is the home team in this one. Neil C. Brown Field is the venue of this football game. It's a non-conference game. West Greene trailing Clairton 35-7. West Greene just scored a touchdown after Ben Jackson ran it back about 80 yards. He's got such a unique ability, being able to fight off the initial line, make some cutbacks. He started in the middle of the field, cut it all the way back to the near sideline, and scored to give West Greene 7 points. Kick up, and it's fielded at the 15 by Clairton. Clairton's Ogletree runs it backwards to the 20, cuts it to the far sideline, tries to hurdle someone.
Fumble.
And he lost the football. So no ruling yet.
I think Ogletree was able to pick it back up. Fans complaining for a flag underneath us.
So 1st and 10 for Clairton on its own 27-yard line. So Ogletree on the return gets a net yard, gets some net yards, about 13 net yards on that run. Clairton's been playing a dangerous game, running the ball backwards a few times. But in this case, it has some insurance to be able to take that risk and create some trial and error with that. 2 wide receivers on each side. 1 tight end on the right side of the line, now motioned by one of the receivers. Now there's 3 wide receivers on the left side. Parsons in the backfield, throws to the far sideline. Catch made, diving. For that one was Brooklyn Cannon, and he's got a reception and a new set of downs for Clairton. So in high school football, once a knee or an elbow touches the ground, it's down no matter what. Nobody has to touch the ball carrier on the ground. So Brooklyn Cannon kind of dove, had some momentum going forward, and lost his balance and hit the ground. So the officials ruled it down without anybody touching him or tackling him. So it's 1st and 10 for Clairton on its own 42-yard line.
Yeah, he was disappointed that he fell down and couldn't break that for more.
3 wide receivers on the left, 2 on the right. Brennan Parsons has an empty set. Motion by one of the receivers, and it's a handoff to that receiver. But before that happens, a flag kills that play. Illegal motion on Clairton. So that's going to send them back a few yards. So now 1st and 15 from Clairton's own 37. The first down marker is on West Greene's 48. So you've got Kenlin Ogletree, Wayne Wade, and Jonte Sanders on the left side of the line. Then 2 other wide receivers on the right side. And again, Parsons is all alone, 5 yards deep in the backfield. Again, motion. It's going to be a jet sweep handoff to one of the receivers from the far side. Isaiah Berry was playing in the slot. He's fighting off defenders, and he's knocked hard out of bounds by Colin Walker around the 45-yard line, still in Clairton's territory. So a gain of nearly 10. Sets up a 2nd down and 7 from Clairton's own 46. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left on the clock in quarter 2. It's 35-7. Clairton leads West Greene. So West Greene still hitting hard on the defensive side, just more often than not has given up points rather than stop drives.
No, West Greene's not going to give up. We saw with Ben Jackson breaking that 80-yard run right after they fell behind 35-0, that this team still has some life and is not just going to concede this game here and concede their undefeated record.
And with that, Clairton uses its final timeout of the half. And again, we're going to take a timeout as well. You're listening to greensports.net, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County.
For every concussion that happens in professional sports, 5,000 happen in high school games. That's why Excella Health is pleased to have concussion specialists on staff. Running the concussion program is Dr. Jim Masterson. Dr. Masterson is a credentialed impact consultant and leader in concussion management. Excella Health also has the most advanced equipment and experienced people. To make an appointment with Dr. Masterson, visit myexcelladoc.org or call 1-855-EXCELLA-DOC. That's 1-855-EXCELADOC.
You're listening to greensports.net, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Clairton just used its third and final timeout of the half. Clairton is in a second and 7 situation from its own 46-yard line. About 4.5 minutes left in this game. It's 35-7. Clairton is leading West Greene. So 3 wide receivers on the right side of the line, 2 wide receivers on the left. Dante Sanders replaces Isaiah Berry as one of the slot men. Now Sanders goes into motion, moves to the right side of Brendan Parsons, 5 yards deep in the backfield. Now Parsons throws to the far sideline. Pass is knocked away by West Greene's defense. For West Greene, it was Gavin Scott who ran behind the line. That was a little bubble pass to one of the receivers. It was intended for Kenlin Ogletree, but Scott came out of nowhere and knocked that ball out of midair, creating an incomplete pass, setting up now a 3rd and 7 situation from Clairton's own 46.
It's a key point. If West Greene can get a stop here, Clairton might actually consider punting for the first time all game.
Dante Sanders remains in the game as the tailback. He's to the right side of Brendan Parsons, about 4 yards deep now in the backfield. Parsons hands off to Sanders, and Sanders is knocked short. He crossed the 45 and was immediately brought down by West Greene's defense. That's going to set up a 4th down. And still about 7 situation, no gain on the play.
I believe that was Colin Walker making the stop for the Pioneers, setting up 4th down and 6 for Clairton.
4 minutes, 10 seconds left on the clock. Quarter number 2 is what this game is in. 35-7 is the score. It's Clairton 35, West Greene 7. So punt formation for Clairton. West Greene has one back deep at the 25. It's Ben Jackson. The kick is off by Ogletree, and Jackson calls for fair catch inside the 25. So West Greene will have another opportunity to score. It's 35-7. West Greene trails Clairton in this one. And there's under 4 minutes left in this game now, and we talked about how the mercy rule can be crucial. So once the mercy rule clock starts, it doesn't stop. Now West Greene isn't in that position yet. The mercy rule clock can only start in the second half, but once the mercy rule clock is in effect, there is no stopping it, regardless of whether you get inside 35 points or not.
No, and what might be getting lost in this game is the Clairton defense. 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. This game did not happen 35-7 with the Bears just marching down the field. The Bears have been very opportunistic in getting 3 takeaways tonight.
Gavin Scott under center. He's got that 3-back set. It's going to be a handoff to the left back, Ben Jackson, and Jackson is swarmed by a by a cluster of Clairton Bears, especially that defensive line that has been applying pressure to the running game all game. That's going to be a loss of roughly 3 on the play, setting up a 2nd down and 13 situation. West Greene pushed back to its own 20. The first down marker is set at the 33-yard line in West Greene's territory. I mean, West Greene's continuing a 3-back set, so it's usually Scott under center, and then it's the fullback Corey Wise, who's about 2 yards back deep, and then Colin Walker and Ben Jackson on either side of Wise as the 2 backs. This time it's a spread formation, though, 2 wide receivers on each side. Gavin Scott was looking for receivers, and he is brought down by 2 Clairton linemen, one of which happened to be junior Jameer Sanders.
And the other one making the stop was Demetrius Weatherspoon, 290-pound, 6'6" junior, wrapping up.
That's a big man.
Scott.
That is a big man. I love seeing strong, powerful linemen like that, and especially on a play like that, applying pressure and breaking down offensive plays. It's a loss of about 3, 3rd and 15. Now West Greene pushed back to its own 18. 3 backs, one behind the other.
And we got
it was
jumping.
Scott under center, and there's a flag on the play as the ball was snapped. False start on West Greene, so more troubles hinder West Greene. First 2 plays to go for losses, and now West Greene hurts itself and causes its own loss of yardage. So with that penalty, a timeout will be called by West Greene. That's its 2nd of the half. You're listening to greensports.net, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. Bruce Davidson alongside me, Nicholas Callas, and just going over the standings again here in WPIAL Class 1A. Clairton game doesn't mean too much in terms of conference, but Clairton undefeated in conference this year and really close to a Jeanette team that is undefeated overall. Jeanette, 7 wins, 0 losses. 3 of those wins were in conference.
Right, and the key factor here is Clairton, again, started the season losing their first 2 games, 35-14 at home here at Neil C. Brown Stadium against Aliquippa, and then losing at McGuffey 42-27. But since then, they've rattled off 5 straight wins where they've outscored their opponents 201-35. And given the 35-7 score right now tonight, it is no surprise as to why.
West Greene's undefeated as well in conference and overall. Hasn't lost a game yet, but is down by 4 possessions in this game. It's 3rd and about 20. And Scott's just going to hand off to Ben Jackson. The ball came out for a brief second, but it's regained by West Greene, so a short gain on the play. Sets up a 4th and 10 for West Greene on its own 23. The first down marker is on the 33-yard line in West Greene's territory. So West Greene is going to punt. Well, we can't guarantee it's going to be a punt, but West Greene is lined up in punt formation. The punter's Gavin Scott is also the quarterback, and back deep is Kenlin Ogletree for Clairton. And with that, hands wave. The officials are waving hands. Timeout called. West Greene uses its 3rd and final timeout of the half. So with a minute and a half remaining, West Greene trails Clairton 35-7. You're listening to greensports.net, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County.
We all have different stories. We may think we don't have time to pursue a higher education because of how busy we are. At Seton Hill University, my story matters. I can still follow my dream of earning a bachelor's degree with Seton Hill University's adult degree program. And with the adult degree program, I have access to all online and on-campus resources, including career services for life. When I move forward, my family moves forward. Learn how you can move forward at setonhill.edu/moveforward.
Greensports.net, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Bruce Davidson alongside me, Nicholas Callas. A minute and a half left. West Greene is trailing 4 possessions. Clairton played nice defense on West Greene, and now West Greene is in punt formation. Gavin Scott punts it away from the 10. Kenlin Ogletree will field it around midfield, but he loses the ball, and falling on it is West Greene. For West Greene, recovering the fumble, it's senior Colin Walker. And West Greene will start with the football now, 1st and 10 from its own 48. And let me just tell you something. As soon as Ogletree touched that football, Colin Walker made a very alert play to push Ogletree away from getting anywhere near that football. So Walker pushed Ogletree away and then moved backwards and fell on the football. A very alert play by his senior running back and defensive back. It's that 3-back set for West Greene, but Scott's going to roll into pass into the pocket. He throws it in the near sideline, and a catch made by Ben Jackson, and Kenlin Ogletree is down on the field. Jackson was knocked down by Ogletree around the 45-yard line in Clairton's territory, and now Kenlin Ogletree slow to get up.
He's now on one knee at the Clairton 47-yard line, a hard collision between Ogletree and Jackson.
We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to greensports.net, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County.
For every concussion that happens in professional sports, 5,000 happen in high school games. That's why Excella Health is pleased to have concussion specialists on staff. Running the concussion program is Dr. Jim Masterson. Dr. Masterson is a credentialed impact consultant and leader in concussion management. Excella Health also has the most advanced equipment and experienced people. To make an appointment with Dr. Masterson, visit myexcelladoc.org or call 1-855-EXCELLA-DOC. That's 1-855-EXCELLADOC.
West Greene 2nd and 5 now from Clairton's 48. It's 35-7. West Greene is trailing Clairton with 1:15 left in quarter number 2. 2 wide receivers on each side. One back next to Gavin Scott, the quarterback, and flags go down on the field as the ball is snapped. And it is going to be a false start on West Greene. So West Greene now has 4 total penalties on the day, and West Greene is pushed back again. So the run by Ben Jackson is negated. It's 2nd and 10 from West Greene's own 48.
Clock running down to a minute. Remember, West Greene without any timeouts, and Clairton will get the ball in the second half as they deferred.
2 wide receivers on each side, one back to the right of Gavin Scott, the quarterback. Pass play, Scott in the pocket. Scott throws near sideline, and it's away from Ben Jackson, the intended receiver, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 10 for West Greene on its own 48. The first down marker is on Clairton's 44.
Jackson was in double coverage there by both Dante Sanders, and it looked as though he was also being covered by Isaiah Berry, but Scott nearly found a way to get it to him. Now 47 seconds left, and it'll be 3rd and 9 for West Greene from their own 47.
Same formation for West Greene. Gavin Scott in the pocket, rolls to the near sideline, throws across his body to nobody. The only receiver that was close to that one for West Greene was Colton Anderson. But that pass is incomplete. That'll set up a 4th down and 10 situation for West Greene on its own 48. There are 40 seconds left in the quarter. It's 35-7. Clairton leads West Greene. West Greene not in emergency need of a score. Not in urgent need of a score, I should say. But West Greene not going to punt. It's going to be 4th down. Well, I can't even say that. Sometimes quarterbacks will receive the snap and then kick it away. But there are 2 wide receivers on the left, 2 on the right. And one back next to Scott. Scott goes into the pocket, has pressure, throws to the far sideline, and the pass is in and out of the hands of Colin Walker. And that 4th down conversion is no good, so Clairton's going to start with the football again. 1st and 10 from West Greene's 48. So there are 35 seconds left in the first half. It should be duly noted as well that Clairton won the toss, deferred to the second half. So West Greene received the kick. So West Greene will kick to start the second half. Clairton will receive. And Clairton is 1 score away from forcing the mercy clock, which is a continuous clock, in the second half.
Right, and with 35 seconds left and 1 timeout at West Greene's 47, I'm interested to see how aggressive Clairton will be, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half.
2 wide receivers on the left, 3 on the right. Now motion by one of the slot men. Now there's 4 wide receivers on the right side of the line. Quick pass, far sideline. It's caught by Clairton, and there's still space. No tackle official yet. Still pushing, and that's going to be down by the far sideline. Short gain on the play for Clairton. It was Wayne Wade, the receiver of that one. That'll set up a 2nd and 7 for Clairton on West Greene's 45. And Clairton is going to elect to spike the ball. Brendan Parson, spikes the football. So Clairton is looking for the 35-point difference to go into the second half, trying to construct some plays that'll get them a score. Again, the ball's on West Greene's 45, so it's going to take 45 yards for Clairton to be able to score a touchdown. Clairton with an empty back set, 3 wide receivers on the left side, 2 on the right, and Brendan Parson is 6 yards deep in the backfield. He's got an empty set. Pass play, Parsons looking, he's got some pressure, but he stays in the pocket. Parsons throws near sideline, and the pass caught by Brooklyn Cannon. As the clock expires, Cannon was down to the 35-yard line in West Greene's territory, but that does not matter. That's going to do it for the first half. So Clairton, all kinds of scores in that first half. Runs, a punt return, a pass play, good. That made it 35-0, and around the middle of that second quarter, West Greene got a touchdown on a Ben Jackson 80-yard rush. And that is how West Greene scored its only points, but Clairton's still up by 4 possessions.
Yeah, and Clairton is looking to hand West Greene their first loss overall on the season. This won't affect West Greene as this is a non-conference competition here tonight, so the Pioneers will remain, barring a comeback, 6-0 in conference, but unless they can mount a comeback, they're going to fall to 7-1 overall, still in a playoff position. They've already clinched a playoff position in Class A WPIL playoffs this year.
I'm Nicholas Callas. That's Bruce Davidson. You're listening to greensports.net simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. We're going to send it to the halftime show after this break, but we'll be back when the second half begins. You're listening to greensports.net simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.